sure how much yarn is in this because I'm thinking of making a balaclava out of it. But I'm thinking maybe I could make like a slip over with it if there's enough. I'm gonna unravel it and then see, then choose what I'm gonna make out of it. It was 29 Danish crowns. It's not a lot for this amount of clearly wool yarn. And the knitting needle I tried was the 9mm one. I am considering downsizing the gauge to a 7mm needle. If I use a bigger needle, it can cover a bigger area. I think something in my brain tells me that that's logical, but I'm not certain. I need to find the starting point. But I think it's been knitted. How the hell did they knit this actually? Because it's knitted this direction, so they would have to have a needle that's literally like, but there's a snag here, so I'm thinking maybe I should start the unravel at that part. Okay, it rips pretty easily, so I have to be careful. That's not great for unraveling. You sometimes have to tug a bit at it. Going on here? This yarn isn't spun, so it breaks very easily, and that's super annoying. Oh, there we go. This is gonna take up a lot of space on my card. Considering filming this on my phone as a time lapse instead, so it doesn't take up as much space. I think I'll do that. So, excuse me, the angle will change a bit. Alright, that took over an hour, and this is the resulting skein, I guess it's called. It's quite a lot. In the beginning it like kept breaking, so these are like the shorter little pieces of yarn that broke off, and I got like a little bit desperate. I was thinking maybe I would have to reuse these in like, if that kept happening, I was thinking that I would maybe respin the yarn, or thinking like I would turn it into felt and make that into maybe a bag or something, which is something that I'm still interested in doing. I have this bag. It's not very aesthetically pleasing, not very zero waste mason jar looking, but I have this IKEA bag full of some leftover pieces of yarn. I also have these. I'm figuring it's too short to kind of, like I would have to tie a lot of knots to use them, so here we have the yarn. 26 stitches. Let's just see what that looks like. Oh, that's a nice sound. These are my notes. I attached the little sample with needle and thread. The basics of my threads and my needle size. The intentions, kind of a sketch. It never really ends up looking like the sketch, but it's just like sort of in the direction of whatever I'm thinking. I don't know if this is enough for a whole sweater, but then I'm thinking to interchange the yarns a little bit and create a little bit of a stripe. If I sense that I'm running out, then I'll save some for the sleeves and I'll add the color at the bottom that I'm adding to the sleeves as well. I'm thinking it'll be like a light color, maybe white. Okay. Now I just need to figure out where to place the markers for where I'm doing the raglan. Don't have the words, but I have the hands. These are my stitch markers. I haven't tried raglan with this effect. And since I'm doing a scoop neck, right now I'm knitting back and forth. I haven't connected the yarn to the other end, which makes it a bit easier. But I'm wondering if I should maybe do the front and back separately and crochet them together once I actually connect the yarn. I don't know. We'll see. This is how I keep track of raglan stitches are the pluses on top, and the scoop neck stitches are the pluses on the bottom.
I can't escape from what I did and what it meant.
Alright, I've gotten this far, and I only have this much left of the yellow yarn. So I'm thinking I'll change over to this one, which is slightly thicker and more dense yarn, but I think the color combination will be nice, and it's closer to the structure of the yellow yarn than the rest of the yarn I have, which often is spun, and this is relatively unspun yarn. I'm gonna see how that goes, and I'm gonna change the bottom of the torso and then use this for the sleeves. I can always unravel if it doesn't look that good. We'll see. I'm this far in now, so the body is all done, and now I'm just gonna do the sleeves. I divided the yarn that I have of the 2 yarns I've used into 2 equal bundles, and this isn't gonna be enough for 2 sleeves, but I'm thinking I'm gonna add the last section with a white yarn and then a following thread of yellow to kind of match the theme and the vibe of the sweater. This far I'm really liking how like soft and fluffy and nice it just is. It didn't end up being a scoop neck, it's a v-neck, but that's also good, that's fine. Stay tuned for the sleeves. Now we've only got 1 sleeve left to go, and then weaving in all the ends. Finished it. Well, the knitting part anyway. Tomorrow I'm gonna look at weaving in the ends and doing some final touches and showing it off to you guys. But for now, I'm gonna head to bed. This was essentially the 2nd day of working on this, but for fairness sake, let's say that it took 2.5 days. But the sweater's all done. I think the end result is absolutely perfect. Exactly what I was going for, with like the simple cut, oversized, very comfortable, loose, and lightweight as well. I think the different colors match each other really well. I'm very happy with the detail of the yellow bind off. I love the length, I love the volume of it. Since it is a v-neck, but it gets pulled kind of from the sleeves, it does become a scoop neck. So I'm happy with that part, because that was initially what I wanted. But I think it kind of looks a lot like the sketch I did actually, which is kind of rare. Wait. These are my notes. You can pause and look if you're curious, but this is just kind of how I note down what I do. The little sample, and then this is just me keeping track of how far I've gotten, which is especially important in the sleeves because I have to do it twice. This is all there's left from me weaving in the ends and cutting off all the extra. So that's not a lot, and it will go into my scrap bag. And this is how little was left when I was finished. And this will also go into the scrap bag. So there we go, real nice. I hope you enjoyed following this creative process, kind of seeing the routes that my brain went down in order to create this. And I hope it inspires you to upcycle something. I'll see you in the next video.